The medical community and researchers don't quite understand the impact and the stresses and the traumas related to different occupations, especially when it comes to collision sports like football or like hockey, all of these sports where there's this thought that it's repeated head injuries leading to these changes in the brain. Found was that the presence of CTE, despite being in 40% of the population, so 60% of this group did not have the presence of CTE, but that white athletes made up the majority. About 78% of this population was white athletes, and less than 18% were black athletes. What they found was that CTE was more likely to be present in those who were black athletes compared to white athletes, and also more likely to be present in those with a longer career duration compared to less. Presence of CTE does not indicate anything specific about the type of trauma, the forms of trauma, the rate of trauma. It's not indicative of repeated head injuries or concussions, and instead it is indicative of something else that is going on, some other form of chronic trauma. And something that is important to understand about this study is that despite the fact that 40% of the brains showing CTE, 60% of the brains did not show CTE, but the fact is 100% of those brains were of former athletes who died before the age of 30, with the top two causes of death being suicide and unintended drug overdose, which means that psychological changes in mental health, and changes then in physical health, changes in decision making and behaviors are the driving factors leading to these early and untimely deaths. That you do not need a diagnosis in order to recognize, in order to acknowledge and confirm and justify or rationalize the presence of trauma and stress in your life.